Good evening, I'm Tom Cochran.
And I'm Ann Ryder. Hendricks County is the scene of a First Amendment showdown.
The issue, X-rated videotapes. Authorities say some are obscene, store owners cry foul.
A family talks publicly about their son's death and the police officer indicted in it.
Surgery is only the beginning of treatment for breast cancer patients. More in our Health Beat tonight.
This is WTHR, Channel 13, Indianapolis. Live from Indiana's News Channel, Tom Cochran, Ann Ryder, Allison Gilman's Health Beat, Bob Gregory's AccuWeather, and Don Hines' Sports Final. This is News Center 13 tonight.
X-rated videos are available all over central Indiana, but in one county, there are fewer of them tonight.
That's a fact after a raid of 2 video stores nets tapes that authorities now plan to use as evidence.
It all comes down to the definition of what is obscene. Hendricks County authorities believe the videos confiscated today are just that. Store owners say the only obscene thing in their stores is what transpired today. Kevin Rader with tonight's top story.
Hendricks County Sheriff's deputies served search warrants at 2 Plainfield video stores. 4 videos judged obscene were confiscated. Obscenity and RICO charges filed against the owners.
It's illegal to distribute obscene videos.
Hendricks County prosecutor Kevin Hinkle also filed habitual offender charges against Darrell Rose, citing 2 prior felony convictions. But Rose sees it differently.
I want you to watch what I want you to watch, is the way it's coming down.
Rose says none of the confiscated movies are obscene. Marlene Morehouse agrees.
The prosecutor is maintaining that it's illegal for me to have it in my building, and it's illegal for me to rent it. But you can go anywhere else in this state and get one and bring it home and watch it.
Morehouse says if the prosecutor had notified her as to what videos were obscene, she would have removed them from the store shelves. Hinkle says he just did serve notice. And what's more,
We do not think that there will be any problem for a jury to find these 4 videotapes to be obscene.
in Hendricks County, Kevin Rader, News Center 13 tonight.
By agreement, Rose and Morehouse will turn themselves in tomorrow morning at 9 to face charges. Tom?
There's a positive note about crime tonight. Detectives credit a Crime Stoppers tip with the arrest of 2 men in connection with the armed robbery of an Indiana state senator. Investigators picked up 24-year-old Delbert Denny and 28-year-old Jeffrey Garner. Both are charged with burglary, auto theft, robbery, and confinement of State Senator Pat Miller. Each man is held on $100,000 bond. A veteran Indianapolis police officer will stand trial in the traffic death of a Greenfield teen. Officer Wallace Shobe was indicted today for reckless homicide. Prosecutors say Shobe ran a red light without his emergency lights and sirens and plowed into Bobby Hill's car. The Greenfield teen later died. The News Center's Jane Harrington visits the Hill family as they speak out for the first time since their son's death.
The Hills say countless sympathy cards help, but that nothing really stops their grief. And Officer Shobe's indictment is little consolation.
We knew that there was nothing that the grand jury's decision one way or the other was not going to bring Bobby back. We're just glad this part of it's over.
But even before the indictment, Officer Shobe talked with us about the trauma of this ordeal.
This has been a very difficult time for you.
Yes, it has been. For me and my family.
In Greenfield, the Hills treasure happy yet painful memories of their firstborn son.
He was an excellent student. Bobby really believed in reaching his potential, and he talked about that a lot.
Just flashback memories that, and just great waves of sadness.
The Hills say what they want now is justice, not vengeance, for the death of their son.
And I want everyone that's been involved to tell the truth, to take responsibility for their actions. That to me is justice. Nothing will bring Bobby back. But it will, like Bob said, give us a resting place.
And Baird Hill would turn back the hands of time if she could, as would Patrolman Wallace Shobe. Both are devastated by the finality of Bobby Hill's death. Jane Harrington, News Center 13.
The grand jury which indicted Officer Wallace Shobe is white. No one has alleged a racial motive, but it calls to mind complaints that surfaced in January during the selection of the Mike Tyson trial jury. Prosecutor Jeff Modised was asked about the absence of blacks on the Shobe grand jury.
I didn't even know that there weren't. These are randomly selected grand jurors, and I didn't even know the racial composition of the grand jury.
Marion County officials maintain jurors are selected randomly through voter registration rolls. Others have called the system to task, saying relatively few blacks are called for jury duty. Ann?
The White House tonight is calling Ross Perot paranoid, saying allegations of Republican dirty tricks against Perot's family are delusions. Perot was testy and a bit defensive today.
Look, I don't have to prove anything to you people.
Hoosier supporters gathered for a rally to watch Perot's infomercial tonight. They say the unproven allegations of a smear campaign against Perot's daughter were not the only reason he dropped out. But they don't doubt its impact on Perot, and they don't think the controversy will backfire on him.
It has hurt him just a little bit, I think, but as he said, he wouldn't have brought it up if 60 Minutes hadn't sort of been going to bring it out anyway. And I've read several books on Ross, and I think he's just beyond reproach.
The infomercial shows his Achilles heel. It shows his family as his weakness. And when he got out of the race, everyone's focusing on his daughter as being the only reason. It wasn't the only reason. It was one that tipped the scales.
But political analysts say the events of the past 24 hours stand to tip the scales against Perot on the character issue. Perot's opponents are carving up the rest of the country as they enter the final week of the campaign. George Bush in Des Moines, Iowa tonight. The president's men refuted Ross Perot's dirty tricks charges, while Mr. Bush campaigned in Denver and Albuquerque. Half a country away, Bill Clinton blitzed through several stops in North Carolina, a GOP stronghold in recent presidential elections.
And there is only a week to go. As you may have seen at 6 o'clock, we hit another city in our hometown vote tour. And another newspaper official says the race for the Indiana State House is a yawn. Kokomo Tribune publisher Arden Dragan says colleagues in Columbus and Muncie saying it is a non-year for governor and other races. Drager says that will mean ticket splitting.
I think you're going to see a lot of splits. They're unhappy about the Attorney General's race. In fact, it's an embarrassment for both of the state chairmen should be shot. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but what they put up for candidates for the Attorney General is an embarrassment to the people and the electorate.
Drager discusses some of what he hears that leads him to believe voters will shift this year.
I wish I had the courage to vote for Ross Perot. He's right. I don't know. We're tired of the status quo. Let's put a Democratic president with the Democratic Congress. Then there's no excuses anymore. We're tired of hearing blame one, blame the other type thing.
Arden Drager of the Kokomo Tribune. Kokomo is home to many so-called Reagan Democrats. Experts say they may be switching this year.
A shakeup at the top leaves workers for the state's largest private employer wondering just what will trickle down.
Removing a tumor in a woman's breast is only the beginning of treatment. Our Health Beat takes a look.
In the weather department, skies are clear up in the northern part of the state. Down south, some clouds, and underneath the clouds, some sprinkles. On our Weather Service radar, east of the Terre Haute area, a few sprinkles there. They will continue to move east at 30 and will probably be gone in the next couple of hours. Forecast coming up.
How low can Highlands prices go? Not 40, not 35% above cost like some stores. Oh no, lower. Not 30, not 25% above cost like other people's sale prices. No, lower. For a few days only, Highland is lowering its prices to 16% above cost or less on all audio, video, appliances, and computers, everything. Nobody is lower on price, and nobody tops Highland for help and advice. Highland, the best price and honest advice.
The numbers are in. Under Evan Bayh's leadership, Indiana ranks second in the nation in job creation. Over 32,000 new jobs in the last year. Indiana's a leader in new manufacturing startups, a 58% increase. And in the last 2 years, all these states raised taxes, but not Indiana. Here's what was said in the Wall Street Journal. Evan Bayh promised to restrain the budget and taxes. He has delivered on his pledge. On jobs, on taxes, Evan Bayh, a record of leadership for Indiana.
You know what tastes better on Grant's Farm bread?
Toast tastes better, jam is nicer. Everything tastes better on Grant's Farm bread.
Spreads taste livelier, pickles are crunchier.
Everything tastes better on Grant's Farm bread.
And why? Because Grant's Farm tastes so good all by itself, and it's cholesterol-free.
Beef is tastier, peppers are snappier. Everything tastes better on Grant's Farm bread. Everything tastes better on Grant's Farm bread.
Taste 'em.
the 1992 Mazda Protege. Motor Trend said it had the utility of a small sedan, inbred with the muscle tone of a sports car. Right now, you can get a 92 Mazda Protege and get $1,000 cash back from Mazda. It's the right car and the right deal right now. Don't let it get away.
At your Central Indiana Mazda dealer now.
Tonight on Jay's Show, the effervescent Alan Keyes.
Let's get this straight. I didn't want to come here tonight.
Buck up, Alan. Look, Jan Wenner is having fun.
The Tonight Show, more fun than you can shake a stick at. Yeah, shaking a stick is sure ain't even fun.
And on Dave's Show, Robert Klein, Carlos Santana, and something very special.
Tonight, I have William Shatner's hair.
Beam 'em up, Scotty, please.
At this particular plant, we don't see any impact with Stemple or Roger Smith or whoever the heck it might be. It's not going to affect us. We don't feel that.
UAW official at Indianapolis's GM truck and bus plant reacts to the forced resignation of Robert Stemple.
Some Hoosier workers welcome the change. Others say they'll just take what comes.
Change indeed. GM could lose more than $3 billion this year on top of a $7 billion loss last year. But the head of the United Auto Workers Union blasts the move.
I think it was done very messy. I don't think it's the right way to handle it. I think that Bob Stemple is a victim.
Owen Bieber disagrees with replacing the company's first engineer turned CEO with a financial expert, but Wall Street analysts say General Motors needs to get its financial house in order.
A matter of concern in our health feed. When a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, doctors generally operate to remove the tumor. After that, doctors treat the rest of a woman's body. Allison?
And this systemic approach, as it's called, is kind of like an insurance policy to make sure that all the cancer is gone and that the cancer will not be back. Breast cancer can actually shed cells into the blood, and those cells can be carried anywhere in a woman's body. In this Monday IU Medical Center update, learn how doctors use some powerful drugs to fight back.
Treatment options for breast cancer depend on how far the disease has progressed. Stage 1 breast cancer is defined as a small tumor confined to the breast. When the lymph nodes of the armpit are involved, a woman has stage 2 cancer. Stage 3 cancer is a very large tumor, or a tumor that involves the chest wall or the skin over the breast. A stage 4 cancer is widespread, involving other organs like the lung, liver, or bones. Chemotherapy is a common treatment for women with any stage of breast cancer. It involves the use of toxic drugs to target and kill cancer cells.
Using chemotherapy is another form of insurance, if you will, in the same sense that you put on a seatbelt when you get in a car. Many patients get chemotherapy after they've had surgery to prevent them from getting in an accident a little bit further down the road.
Some breast cancers are fed by a woman's hormones. Anti-estrogen drugs like tamoxifen effectively block the growth of breast cancer cells by starving them of estrogen. Tamoxifen is currently undergoing a congressional safety review as a preventative treatment for healthy women at high risk of developing breast cancer.
Experts say up to 90% of all breast cancer patients can be helped if their cancer is caught early and if they take advantage of the latest treatments, which include chemotherapy. If you'd like more information, you can call the IU Medical Center. Their phone number, 274-8875.
That is an encouraging statistic.
Yes.
Thank you, Alice.
Welcome.
Doesn't seem like autumn these days.
No, Bob Gregory shows us how long the warmth will last.
In November, Merchants Bank becomes National City Bank, the same friendly service and convenience with a whole new competitive edge.
Drop by your Dodge dealer and you can pick up $500 cash back on any new Dodge Dakota in stock. Dakota Club Cabs are also available with a 4-speed automatic and air conditioning at no extra charge. And even all dressed up Dakota Sports now drop under 10 grand. It's the National Dodge Truck Sale. Now arriving at a Dodge dealer near you.
We found Joe Hogsett debating Joe Hogsett. Joe said he wouldn't run for the Senate, but Joe, you changed your mind. Now, this Joe's for jobs, but this Joe is attacking Dan Coates for having the same position as Bill Clinton on jobs. Now, Joe, you were opposed to assault weapons, and Joe, you were for them. Now, this Joe is for school prayer, but this Joe is sending out letters attacking Dan Coates for supporting voluntary prayer. Now, Joe says he'll decide where he stands on the issues before Election Day, but then again, Joe said he wouldn't run, didn't he?
People like Wendy's 99-cent super value menu for two good reasons. Good food and good price. Plus now there's something new.
Introducing our new chili chips and cheese. It's Wendy's own rich and meaty chili on crisp corn tortilla chips topped with a creamy cheese sauce. They're not your average nachos. Try the new chili chips and cheese for a limited time only on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
Good food at a good price. Sounds good to me.
A live shot that you were looking at from our sky cam downtown, and it's beginning to feel more like the time of year it is.
But it was more like spring today.
Yeah, it was really very nice. We've been riding the bonus train here for a while, but I'm afraid it's going to stop to fuel up with something other than warm temperatures. We were 6 on the plus side today, but that's going to have a change by the end of the week. We'll show you why. Last year on this date, Indianapolis picked up overnight now from the 25th to the 26th, 4 inches of rain. We're about 2/3 of an inch on the plus side so far this year. Outside, clouds just to our south and will be moving away, so our skies will continue to clear. We have 53 downtown, but officially it's 52 out at Indianapolis International. Our winds are northerly at 12 miles an hour. The pressure, that's starting to rise at 29.96. Here you can see the satellite movement of some showers, and in the warmer air, they did have the buildup of a few clouds throughout the afternoon. A couple of watches were out for parts of Texas and Arkansas. You can see the vertical development here, but really nothing out of the ordinary developed in there. There were a few showers and thunderstorms, and then some sprinkles, of course, as you saw on our radar, and they generally are moving eastward. The stronger thunderstorms down across the northern Gulf states, and then really avoided weather through the nation's midsection. So that means good things as far as we're concerned for tomorrow. This area of high pressure will really dominate our weather. Then this front will move on through, and after that, it's going to be pulling some of this colder air out of Canada, and you can see it's cold enough to leave some flurries up there. So that's a little hint. We're not going to get flurries, but you're going to look for the coat anyway, and maybe even a scarf and some mittens, because it's going to feel considerably chillier than what it has. Here's the situation for tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, a few clouds down to the south, but we'll go through the 60s. So really near normal for tomorrow anyway, and then the ball game changes a bit. Our forecast overnight, skies will continue to clear from the north, and there may be a couple of sprinkles for another hour or so, especially south of our area moving east. 40 will be the low during the day tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine. Then we'll top out with a 60-degree high in the afternoon. Our winds will be out of the northeast from 5 to 10 miles an hour both tonight and tomorrow. Clear and chilly tomorrow night. We'll go down to 38 on Wednesday. We'll have a high of 60 degrees, and then a chance of a shower coming in Wednesday night on into Thursday with that front that we pointed out. And then temperatures cooler, as you can see, high maybe 50, so that means 40s most of the day for Friday and Saturday. So that's the situation there. If you were around earlier, we'd like to thank all of those folks that contributed to our Coats for Kids this year. 6,200 coats, and we literally ran out of coats this afternoon, so we wrapped it up at 6 o'clock instead of 8.
Nice article in the newspaper, too, Robert.
It was a nice effort on everybody's part
On
this
behalf
year.
of the city, thanks again for doing
Well,
it.
I just kind of the front man there.
Great
That's
program.
all.
They'll need those coats for Saturday, trick-or-treating.
Yeah, they will.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, that's right. I got to get my costume, too.
Likewise.
Well, the rates are still low, but is it worth it to refinance your house? Kiplinger Money Matters has some answers.
And a happy update to what could have been a very sad story.
This Family Works moment is brought to you by Humana Women's Hospital.
Professor Kidd and her family seminar.
Want a notion to help your children deal with emotions? Your kids may be sad and angry over things you don't understand. Don't tell them they're overreacting. Help them to express their feelings and talk about them. Children need to learn their emotions. A parent can be a great teacher. You got it?
Christina was born premature and spent 10 months there.
If it wasn't for Humana, it just, it wouldn't be a life for us.
Listen to those who know Humana.
If they were not there, Michelle would not have been here today. So we're really thankful to Humana.
Humana is a caring, loving, giving hospital.
Humana. What's more important than your health?
To me, Humana Hospital is great.
When you wake up, our eyes and ears are already monitoring the metro rush hour traffic. Watch News Center 13 Sunrise, beginning at 6 a.m. to get your day started right.
Hi, friends. I'm Denny Beck of Beck Toyota, Indiana's #1 Toyota dealer. We're having a special 3-day sale that'll absolutely knock your socks off. Listen to this, folks. We'll buy your gas for 1 year with any new or used vehicle purchased. We're giving big trading allowances, and as always, our prices are the lowest in town. This is a 3-day sale to end all sales. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday only, we'll buy your gas for 1 year with any vehicle purchased at Beck Toyota. Nobody deals like Beck Toyota.
Hey, you!
It's Clarence the Crusher.
There's too much food in these Encore Salisbury steaks.
Tell him, Crusher.
How can I eat all these juicy, charbroiled steaks in rich, beefy gravy?
But Crusher, Encore is a 2-pound family-size entree.
I don't have a family.
I do. And we love Encore. We'll be over at 6 tonight.
Really? You will?
About this Encore Veal Parmigiana.
5 tomorrow?
Oh.
For tasting more, it's Encore.
If you're waiting for the interest rates to drop again so you can refinance your mortgage, you may be waiting in vain.
So you may not want to wait at all. Take a look instead at what refinancing could do for you right now. Bruce Kopp has more in tonight's Kiplinger Money Matters.
You'd have to go back 20 years to find mortgage rates as low as they are today. But rates aren't the only factor when deciding to refinance.
If the interest rate on your mortgage right now is 10 or 11%, and you could go out and get an 8% or slightly less than 8% mortgage, that 2 or 3 point spread makes it worth your while, certainly, to look at refinancing, especially if you plan to be in your house for several more years.
With mortgage rates this low, there's more at stake than simply lowering your monthly payment. It's an opportunity to take a giant step towards securing your family's financial future.
Think of something really constructive to do with your mortgage savings each month. Reduce expensive credit card debt. Put that money into an IRA for your retirement. Put it into the savings fund for your children's college education. Make that money grow, and then you're really going to increase your net worth.
It will cost you money to do the refinancing, points, if any, legal fees, recording fees. But the more you reduce your monthly mortgage, the faster you'll recoup the cost. You may even want to refinance for more than you owe.
If you can handle a larger amount of debt and use that money to improve your house or for some other constructive purpose, it might be that you can borrow more money and your monthly payment will be the same as your current payment, because the interest rate is much lower.
If you could benefit from refinancing, now may be the time. Rates aren't likely to go much lower, and you'll still have to wait to get your loan processed. Bruce Kopp, News Center 13, with Kiplinger's Personal Finance Report.
But there is a word of warning. Many homeowners looking to refinance have been turned down by lenders because the value of their homes has flattened or, in fact, declined in recent years. If that is the case, you may have to wait until values creep up enough for you to qualify. Dan?
An update now. A bald eagle found wounded on a Hoosier roadway is now on his way to recovery at a rehabilitation center in Minnesota. 2 hunters say they discovered the bird barely alive, so they rushed it to a veterinarian who tried to repair the eagle's damaged wing. After the endangered bird fully recovers, it will be released back into Indiana skies once again.
It is Don Hines' wild and wacky world of sports tonight.
Plus, he'll talk with Colts kicker Dean Biasucci next.
The Kiplinger Report, brought to you in part by First of America. Our smart business loans are getting things moving.
The future looked uncertain. It was the middle of the Civil War, yet our doors opened for the first time. So at First of America Bank, we know about the determination it takes to grow a successful business in tough times. That's why when Bob's Hardware wanted to build a new store creating 100 new jobs, we helped them with a smart business loan. And when Dean Transportation needed vehicles to assist people with disabilities, First of America was there again. because there will always be reasons to invest in the community.
I'm Lynn Pearson, the guy Evan Bayh keeps calling names, because I talk about what's really happening. I've got nothing personal against Evan Bayh, but these are the facts. Auto taxes have gone up. Welfare has soared to record levels. Property taxes are going up to pay for Bayh's welfare program. I have a 6-point plan to cut welfare and balance the budget without raising taxes. Evan Bayh's plan is to raise your taxes. I won't.
In Europe, things happen on time, right on schedule. Punctuality is the norm, and that makes Europe the ideal environment for UPS. Fact is, UPS has built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So when you have a shipment going there that has to be on time, use the delivery company whose punctuality is a time-honored tradition. UPS, we run the tightest ship in Europe.
It's the most innovative and exciting lineup in our history. Introducing Jeep and Eagle for 1993. See the technically advanced new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the sophisticated new Eagle Vision. Get a Cherokee Sport for less than you ever dreamed possible. Or jump into fun-loving Jeep Wrangler at a price like this. But whatever you do, don't miss the 93s at your Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Time to sit back now and enjoy Don Hines Sports.
Thomas, this is one of those nights in sport where you could normally use a 5-iron and you go to a 6. So it's kind of the lull before the storm in sports, with a light night in hockey and pro basketball starting in earnest and elsewhere next week. So baseball takes the top rung here. All-star shortstop Tony Fernandez goes from the San Diego Padres to the Mets. San Diego trying to lighten its salary load. In exchange, pitcher Wally Whitehurst and outfielder D.J. Dozier go to the Padres. Kurt Stillwell will get Fernandez's position with the Padres. You know, it isn't as easy being a baseball general manager now as it used to be. Take the plight of the Blue Jays' Pat Gillick. Only 90 minutes after all of the Torontos honored the Blue Jays for their World Series triumph, Gillick told Dave Winfield that he would not be offered salary arbitration. Purely a business deal. Same thing with Candy Maldonado, who had an excellent year. They'll both probably be brought back later. Not so Dave Steve. They dumped him. Talk a little football here, where kicker Dean Biasucci of the Colts would be the first to tell you that he's missed several kicks that could have changed the strategy of a ball game. There are two positions on the football team that the average fan thinks he can evaluate: quarterback and kicker. If the quarterback isn't hitting his receivers, even if his receivers drop passes, the quarterback is generally perceived as not too good. The evaluation of the kicker is even easier. If he misses anything inside the 50, the average onlooker says, bring on the next one. But coaches look at the long haul.
Dean, in my mind, is a consistent kicker. And he's given the effort. They haven't gone short. And as a result, I think that he's going to come out of this thing. And I just believe in him. I really do.
And Dean Biasucci has a track record, 71% career in his 8th year with the Colts. And he has not only kicked with consistency, he has also excellent range. Last year, he was 15 of 26, and this year, just 5 of 12.
I know I'm a good kicker. I've kicked with all the kickers, and I'm just having a hard time right now. But when he comes back, when I start putting him through, we'll see the Dean Biasucci that we saw a couple years ago.
Dean's still thumping the ball well. He's not striking the ball erratically.
If he had not been now getting his foot into it, and we're not getting the distance to get down here, then I would have much more concern.
You kind of start thinking about things, and I mean, I'm nailing everything in practice. I'm kicking great. I'm just getting out there, and I'm having kind of a hard time. You know, when it comes back, I'll be a happy man.
I agree with the coach. Judge the man on the long term, and judge him not exclusively on what goes through the uprights, but also on dedication and character. And I give Biasucci high marks on both. After yesterday's game, for example, he knew we were going to talk about his having missed again from 31 yards. And he didn't sneak out of the locker room. He reminded me that I'd asked him earlier. A lot of players wouldn't do that. If I were the coach, I'd go that extra mile with a person like that. Kicking is a technique thing, kind of like a golf swing. You're very fortunate if it's there most of the time. Even the great ones go in and out of focus from time to time. Now, I predict Dean and the coach will be very happy men this year. Updating some injuries for you right here. Quentin Coriat had surgery today on his broken left wrist, and he'll go to injured reserve probably tomorrow. And the injuries to Billy Schultz and Ron Solt aren't as serious as previously thought. They may or may not be available for San Diego this week. Now, this is an era in sportscasting where you might have to be conversant in the electric slide. And the originator of the move, Houston's Ernest Gibbons, was showing NBC's Paul McGuire how it's done pregame and in the big show. Pittsburgh's Eric Green getting in the collective face of the Kansas City fans after the wipeout of the Chiefs, Chop City. They're still singing in the Blue Jays clubhouse after that victory over the Braves, and a reprise of a great defensive effort by the Eagles, pushing back 7 consecutive tries from 3 yards out. Phoenix had intercepted a pass to the 3, and with penalties to Philly, 7 consecutive shots at 6. Now, they lost this thing 7-3. You'd think the coach might try to mix it up a little bit after 3 down the chute, wouldn't you think? And here's the best hockey effort of the night from Philadelphia's Greg Pavlovsky against the Rangers. Gets the great feed, brings the Flyers back from a 3-1 deficit to tie it at 3. Eric Lindros had a goal tonight, too, but not as spectacular as that one by Pavlovsky. The Rangers won it, though, 8-4. Had to give Dino a little pat on the back tonight. He's a nice young man and good, solid kicker. He'll come around.
Good thoughts. Thanks, Doc. We have a program note. The Today Show on NBC will make news tomorrow with a special guest. President Bush appears exactly 1 week before Election Day. Also tomorrow, Vice President Dan Quayle comes back home to Indiana for a campaign stop at Purdue University. We'll have coverage on the News Center tomorrow.
Cooler weather.
Great day for all tomorrow. We'll begin with an 8 o'clock reading of 44 degrees. We'll go up to a top of 60 and sunshine all day long.
That's it. All right. Thank you. That is it for us on this edition of the News Center tonight.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. To stay with Jay Leno, he comes your way next with The Tonight Show. And for the first news of the day, catch Sunrise at 6 in the morning. Good night.
Sleep well. Good night.